Hello, my most amazing art students. Today we're going to be talking about this piece of artwork, which is a tapestry, which means it's a piece of fabric that's woven and created. This tapestry is actually one of 7 tapestries that were created, and they tell a story. So this is actually the final. This is number 7, and I will go through quickly and tell you about the other tapestries. It's about a group of hunters that are hunting a unicorn with their dogs. And the first one is the start of the hunt. The hunters are not dressed for hunting, but rather in clothing of rich colors and textures. I'll try to put up pictures of each of these tapestries that you can see. The second tapestry, the unicorn at the fountain, is where the unicorn uses his magical horn to remove the snake's venom from the water. It is here that the theory begins that the unicorn is a symbol of Jesus. Here the unicorn is Christ, and he saves everyone from the snake's poison, Satan. Even the humans who were hunting the unicorn are awed by this act. That means they're like shocked and they can't believe what's just happened. The third tapestry is the unicorn leaps the stream. This is here the serenity of the second tapestry, which means the peacefulness is abandoned, and it looks like a highly charged action scene. The hunters have now are ugly and cruel, and they are symbolizing the persecutors of Jesus Christ. For the fourth tapestry, the unicorn defends himself. The unicorn becomes savage, kicking and butting people and animals. A man with a horn is seen, and he is thought to symbolize the archangel Gabriel. Unfortunately, the fifth tapestry, the unicorn is captured by the maiden, is now in fragments because of mishandling over the years. That means that they didn't take care of it. And according to tradition, the unicorn can only be trapped by a maiden, a young girl. The enclosed garden that the two are in was a medieval symbol of pureness. The apple tree at the center of the tapestry has many religious meanings, and the most obvious is the reminder of the fall of Adam and Eve, hence suggesting that the unicorn is Christ and that this is the redemption after the fall. The sixth tapestry, the unicorn is killed and brought to the castle, is wrought with emotion. The overall scene is centered on the killed unicorn who is bleeding in the upper left-hand corner. All in the scene seem to be shocked by the sight of the slain beast being brought towards them. The seventh tapestry, the unicorn in captivity, is the most famous of all the unicorn tapestries. The unicorn here is miraculously alive again. In the tapestry, he rests chained to a circular pen, wooden gate that's around him. And the rising unicorn is symbolic of the risen Christ. However, since the unicorn is chained, there is some confusion to the symbolism. One theory is that the unicorn, like Jesus Christ, is linked to life or humanity forever. The other theory is that the unicorn symbolizes a bridegroom secured by his mate. So he's paid the price and he's tied to us. So he has a collar on here, and I'm looking. I'm not seeing. Oh, here's the chain. I see it right here. The chain comes from right here, down, 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 and it goes right there and connects to this collar that's on him. Okay? So, a couple of things I wanted to talk about in this is just the magnificent detail in this, like how many flowers and how it just changes, and this tree growing up over here. This tapestry is one of 7, and this tapestry itself is 12 feet tall and 14 feet wide. That's humongous. And each of them are that size. So this tapestry is on permanent display at the cloisters in the Upper Manhattan home of the Mets, in the Met, which is the Metropolitan Museum of Art. They're not really sure if all the things that I just read to you about their theories of what this tapestry is about are true, but it's just an idea of what it can mean. And they're not sure who first ordered these tapestries to be made. So the huntsmen and the hounds, which are the dogs that are chasing after the unicorn, are doing it in a flowering forest, kind of like a Garden of Eden style thing. A couple of the other questions I wanted to talk about, or things I wanted to talk about, are why a unicorn? Why is it a mythical creature? Do you guys have any ideas about that? Maybe. Next week we're going to work on doing our own unicorn, and in a forested background. So the tapestries, the cloths, were thought to have been designed in France and made in Brussels. They don't know who they went to, and some clues that try to identify the person have been left behind in the tapestries themselves. The initials, I see them here. There's an initial A right here and an initial E. It's reversed. The E goes this way. A-E. And they're joined together by a bow. Like there's a bow of the string right here. This was the insignia of Anne of Brittany, twice the Queen of France. The same theory suggests that in the 6th tapestry, the lovers who look at each other are like Anne and Louis VII. So, the myth of the unicorn has been around since ancient China, and it still appears in modern culture, from literature, which is books and writings, to art and music. What makes people so enamored? Why do they like the unicorn so much? And it's not a creature that's ever roamed the earth, so why do people have such a fascination with it? It's a mythical beast, but we can appreciate the artists that are trying to bring this mythical creature to life for us. So I'm going to quickly turn this over and see. And because the unicorn is a mythical creature, it has body parts from some different animals because the artist had to use their imagination to make it. So it's interesting because if we look, let me go ahead and zoom in here on this part of I'm going to actually bring it up on the hooves of the unicorn. They're kind of like goat hooves. They're split. I think that's called like a biclaw. I can't remember. So they're not like a horse hoof. It's more like a goat hoof. The face is very goat-like too. It's very bright. Let me try to turn down the face is very goat-like as well. And let me see if it works if I zoom in. So it won't be so bright. Yeah. It's a little bit better. Focus. And we have definitely some horse characteristics in there. And maybe even some dog. The way it's sitting looks very canine-like. So they use different parts of different animals. And one thing I noticed as well is that let me zoom back out. Those initials that we're talking about, they're initials right here, the same thing, AE on that corner, and then AE here, only in this corner, not in this corner. So, interesting theory on the Queen of France, especially with how expensive these were probably cost to make. It probably was, it had to have been someone very wealthy that ordered them. Next week, the supplies that you'll need are white piece of paper, a pencil, and watercolor paints. If you have other kind of paints, we can use those too. We're going to create a unicorn and a background that's very forested like this for our unicorn to exist in. So I'll go ahead and post those pictures so you can see the other tapestries. And I'll post a little bit more information about this. Have a great day.